Hey guys, how you doing today? We're here to take a look at the art of Miyazaki's Spirited Away. I'm Diego Chavez. Let's take a look at this book. As you can see here, it's hardcover, published by Viz Media, Studio Ghibli Library. In the back, Viz Media. Nice colors. The print came out really nice. Very nice painting of a night scene of the bathhouse. These are most likely scenes from the movies that were hand painted and they get used in the movie itself. They have really talented painters over at Ghibli Studios. It's actually very influential right now, the Ghibli style. Um, a lot of artists like to mimic, a lot of animation studios mimic, and video games mimic. Um, and in a good way, they're mimicking the best. Here's an introduction by Miyazaki. Now I love the sketchy look of these drawings here that are concept art and also watercolors. I just love this style right here of watercolors and sketch. I do a lot of stuff like this as well, and I think this works really well for children's books and graphic novels as well. And it's rough, but at the same time, it's enough, almost, in my opinion, a finished product for print. For print, this is perfect. But then, you know, once they have the concept art made like this, you can hand it over to a painter, uh, or the division of the studio that does all the paintings and background art, and they can re-envision these sketches done in watercolor and make them look really beautiful, like these ones. But it all begins with basic, but not so very basic, color sketches. I like to call them color sketches. They're sketches in color, and I love to work like this. Um, Sketching loosely, but having enough information so that you can explain exactly what's going on in the drawing. You're explaining with the drawing itself. And of course, there's some notes. This one has a layout of the blueprint of the inside here of the bathhouse, right? These are great. I almost like these books of concept art and sketches almost more than I like to watch the movies. I like to see the sketches, you know, all the greens and some brown, but then you have the red uh, to clash with the green here as a complementary color. So she pops out pretty well. But then parts of the little town here is also very colorful. The colors are just great. Yeah, I love these. See that? Yeah. Pretty much studies here of possibly daytime, late afternoon, and then nighttime of the same spots. This is that really famous scene from the movie where the parents they start to eat a lot. They're pigging out, literally pigging out, and they become pigs. Um, it's kind of scary, really, but there is a sense of humor to the scene. You know, you can almost. I know that this is a collection of images put in the book like this. You can almost make all these sketches become just like a flip book with a scene on each page and then the dialogue written below, kind of like a children's book, and you could literally read the movie, and that could work even the way it is right now. Here's, in my opinion, it's finished. It's unfinished for making a movie, but to me, this is finished as a book quality uh, art. These greens and blues are beautiful. Love that. Sometimes it's a little a little thicker, the pigment here, that I know it's mostly watercolor, but sometimes it looks like it could be gouache. Not they're not necessarily listing the medium, but I can tell watercolor for sure, but there could be some gouache as well. Just to take a note of that. I love the car scene. All the bags and things are just like shaking as the car is moving, right? I actually shook the table right now. Yep. These uh, concept art for the character movements and facial expressions. Very nice paintings. Look at that tree. Very nice paintings. Oh, look how beautiful. You know? And I wonder if the painter went to locations like this. I know that a lot of this stuff came from Miyazaki's imagination, but he also probably saw it in person to a degree. And I wonder how much reference photo material or locations they visited, or if they had a real location at all that was used for reference, because the accuracy and the way everything looks is like believable. but also it's believable, it's familiar, but it might not be a real place. And that's the magic of Studio Ghibli. They basically almost create places that seem like they could exist, even though it's a drawing and it's a painting. You know, I love the blue sky, the Studio Ghibli blue sky. There is a video of one of their painters doing a tutorial of painting the sky, and he gives a really good example. Um, if I can find that video, I will put it in the description. But at the moment, from the top of my head, I can't remember the name of the painter or the name of the video, and I'll give a shout out to um, that channel if I can find it. Yeah, very good scenes here of the bathhouse. Dusk. These lights really pop with all the darkness around it. And, yellows will really pop. It's difficult to paint a night scene, and you can tell that I'm not saying that they're trying to show off, but showing off in a good way by creating these night scenes that are so strong with these yellows, um, to represent the light coming out from the bathhouse. It's very cool. This guy, these little thingies. I gotta rewatch this movie now. Now that I'm looking at all of these. um, what is your favorite Miyazaki or Studio Ghibli movie of the collection of the movie so far? I don't think that this one is my favorite. It's definitely very good. It's one of the best ones, really. I think it won an Oscar here in the States at the time. I remember when it came out in theaters. I was walking in the mall and I saw the poster at the time, and to me it was like new. I didn't know much about Studio Ghibli. I remember hearing people talking about it. They were like, "That's a scary movie." I'm like, "Wait, a scary um, like movie that looks like it's maybe anime or maybe it's for children, but it's scary." But then I had to check it out for myself, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I see what they mean. It's not necessarily scary, but uh, well, it's a light-hearted, scary situation." Um, you could say that Miyazaki does some scary children stuff. By that I mean children fantasy work, folklore stuff that would scare children, and he makes it in a way that you almost like it more than you are scared of it. Like Totoro, um, Totoro is pretty scary looking with all those teeth that he's got. He's always smiling. Like, stop and think about it. It's kind of creepy. But people fall in love with these characters. Like this no face guy is so popular, and people mimic not necessarily his design, but the essence of this character. I see it in a lot of stuff. Um, the essence of the Ghibli style is something that nowadays is very, very popular, and everybody wants to be part of it. Everybody wants to, you know, not recreate, but they want to get the feeling of the Studio Ghibli in their work. Um, it doesn't matter what the work is. It can be animation, it can be graphic novels, video games. You see the Ghibli esque. You know it when you see it. You can recognize it. And most people that like to mimic anything from Studio Ghibli, they're very proud of giving them credit and mentioning like, oh yeah, I love Studio Ghibli. It's almost like a badge of honor to be able to um, create any piece of work that resembles something that came out of Studio Ghibli. And and I don't blame anybody that mimics anything from them or Mr. Miyazaki himself. I definitely used to love all kinds of comic book artists and animations, etc., anime and stuff. And one day, like, I just kind of started, I don't want to say obsessing about the Ghibli, but they kind of gave me everything that I needed to study as I got more advanced, as I knew more what I was doing, and I wanted to take it to the next level and begin to learn from a new master of illustration, of art, of animation, and I found that place in the Studio Ghibli um, films, and you know I had to buy the book and see the concept art, because I can't just watch a movie and be done with that. Like, I have to learn how how it was made. I have to watch a documentary. I have to pick up a book like this and study it. I have to draw, paint, and try to get the feeling for what they're doing. It's great. Yeah, here they're showing the smoke that was done with computer software, and then they could add the smoke here digitally. So very, very selective special effects done by computer. So when this is over, then you actually have the script um, of the movie here, and that's awesome. Like, and when you flip through it, you realize how little dialogue there actually is. It's a lot of animation and not a lot of dialogue, and they're short. Like, the sentences are short. Nobody is talking too much. No one talks that for that long. This is pretty long right here, but no one is like giving uh 1 to 2 minute monologues, you know. it's a good pace for this movie, a very good pace. Yeah, sometimes someone will talk a little more, but they're they're very um, they don't talk too much. It's mostly the animation and the art telling the story, the movement, the backgrounds and the character designs and everything like that is what makes the movie so great. And there you have it. This was the Art of Miyazaki Spirited Away Studio Ghibli book. Very good book. I recommend it to have it in your bookshelf. And if you are an aspiring illustrator, animator, what have you, a very good book to get inspired. If you're feeling uninspired, you flip through this and then you start to get the engine going. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Diego Chavez. I'll see you for the next book. Have a good day. Take care.